Alright, guys, so we're finally here. We're finally going to be talking about Alien Earth. Now, again, there was a lot of hype for this series. Now, again, I have a love hate relationship with the Alien franchise. I feel that the Alien franchise has been like a roller coaster. It has its good and its bad, and regardless of what you think, you either love it, you hate it, or you just kind of go through the motions. So the entirety of this franchise, I think, because right now there is supposed to be 4 episodes, but as of right now, two got released on the same day, which was a few days ago, and this is on Hulu right now as a Hulu original, just like it was for Prey. Same thing with Prey, Killer of Killers, or Predator, Killer of Killers. So the entirety of this story is again very similar to the other Alien movies that we've seen, and we have this space vessel that's coming from deep from space. It's going to apparently be returning to Earth. You got these different ones that are scientists, soldiers, whatever, that are, of course, bringing in suspicious cargo. Lo and behold, what is it? Xenomorphs and among these other creatures. And somehow, some way, they get betrayed yet again by a cyborg. Shocker. And the whole crew gets taken out. He literally goes through onto Earth, breaks buildings, destroys buildings, takes out people, and the ship crashes. And he's trying this cyborg is trying to contain the xenomorph threat on the ship because of the orders of who owns the ship and owns the company. While at the same time, we have another uh trillionaire boy genius hippie dummy that thinks he knows everything, has an obsession with Peter Pan that literally helps or tries to seem to help children that have deadly diseases and transferring their essence, their minds, their memories from their body into a synthetic. Now, we have one character who is Marcy, but she changes her name to Wendy, again, Peter Pan, and she's basically the first one. And then when they start doing more, they start doing very well, and they start learning how to use their new bodies. They're in adult bodies now, but they're still children with their minds because, again, how young they were when they transferred their body. And children apparently is more acceptable than an adult. So we have where Wendy misses her family. She really checks on her brother a lot. She's very obsessive with his routines, and she figures out that he is a medic in search and rescue. His team gets sent to go help with the ship that lands, and she's like, I want to find him. And she starts going through everything, and she wants to know where he is. So lucky with Timothy Olyphant's character, he, I believe, is a synthetic as well, and between him and others help her make the agreement of, okay, you made us like this, but can we do something other than just going through there? Even though they're still going through their training, they're going through their their new bodies and everything. So they go ahead, they go, and only a couple people know that this is her brother that she's looking for, which is, of course, Timothy Olyphant's character and another character that she is slowly becoming friends with. Now, during this time, her brother is in the medical team, and he's going through the ship, the building that it crashed into, and the xenomorph's already loose. So it's already going through people, and it's cutting through Marines like nothing, or search and rescue, whatever have you. So it cuts through like probably more than 10. And then at one point, when he reunites with a local search and rescuer, the xenomorph takes him out, then of course takes out these other people that are having a very weird, I guarantee it was a certain kind of party, um a 18th century party, and the xenomorph just completely eradicated them. And when this happens, the xenomorph almost kills Wendy's brother, but he doesn't, because that cyborg shows up, stuns the xenomorph, stuns him, and we see where he takes the gun and he puts it into like a cocoon, like we saw in Resurrection or in any of the other movies. So I'm like, okay, they're going to use this. And then what we see is he tries dragging it, and it's already waking up. And of course, more search and rescuers show up, and then they get eradicated. And he's trying to, contain it. But again, and I got my own comments on this, guy, so just bear with me. So we have where Timothy Olyphant's character with the other kids, they all split up, and they find this other research lab. They see this unknown plant like specimen that we see later opens up its, I'm assuming, whatever you call it, in like a tongue or a vine comes out. Now, again, I don't know if this is associated with the xenomorphs. I have no idea because, again, my brain is just, chimed out at this point. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I don't even remember seeing this in the Alien movies. But then we see a cat that has been taken over by this unknown specimen that has like a bunch of legs and is like a spider-like symbiote type of deal, and it has eyes and it tries to latch on to one of the kids. They're able to subdue it. Timothy Olyphant's character Kirsch comes. He's able to look into everything. He sees that there's cargo at the bottom of this ship, and of course, what are they? Xenomorph face huggers. And he orders 2 to 3 of them to go down, secure the hole, because now their boss wants this cargo, this unknown cargo, because he's able to see through their eyes. So he wants the cargo, even though he is a rival to the company that owns this ship. So once again, idiot scientists trying to contain something they don't know nothing about. Once again. And then we see where Wendy finally finds her brother. He's kind of off-putting, like, hey, why are you looking at me like that? And then, of course, it gets leaked out that, yes, that is his sister. And one of the kids tells him, oh, yeah, well, her name was Marcy, but she goes by Wendy now. And he's like, wait a minute, that was my sister's name. And then he's like, oh, well, yeah, that's your sister. And then she just looks at him like, really? Like, you couldn't keep your mouth shut? And then as soon as that happens, he tests her, and as soon as he does, he realizes, yes, this is his sister. They find the xenomorph eggs, and next thing you know, they're like, okay, we gotta get this thing out. But the xenomorph shows up, knocks down her brother, and she says, I gotta go get him. And that's how the scene ends. So, I will say this, it's very, again, if you're not fully into the alien lore, and again, maybe I'm not, because there's certain things in here, I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? You would think with all the previous movies and everything else in this timeline, they would have known what xenomorphs are. They would know what the hell these things are. They would know not to try to contain them. That they would know not to go ahead and try to make sure these things can spread like wildfire. Could there be a queen on this ship? Don't know. From what I counted, I could have been wrong. It looks about maybe to 7, 8 eggs. There's already one that has been showing for the xenomorphs. I'm not sure if there's more. There very well could be. But again, it's just, again, stupid characters, stupid scientists thinking they can contain everything. And again, if this was a real world situation, it's one of those, I'd be the one raising my hand and be like, okay, did y'all not see the movies? Did y'all not know how this goes? You can't contain a queen, and you cannot contain these creatures. They are mindless killers. Between their bodies, their tail, their blood, their fangs, their inner mouth that can stand and kill you. Same thing with their strength, their agility, their speed, their claws. It's like, I can go on. So it makes me wonder, like, what the hell? And again, this whole thing of going from a human to a synthetic is really crazy, and I was a little shocked that they put this in here. I'm already seeing mixed reviews about this. I don't know how to feel about this show. And I'm surprised someone like Timothy Olyphant was even able to get on this show, because, again, he's very, doing dramas, doing action shooter type, crime drama, stuff like that. Again, Justified and, other things. Again, very big fan of his. I'm wondering how they're going to do his character. And I really do think he's a synthetic, because he was able to sync up to the ship. So I'm not exactly sure what these other creatures are that we saw. Again, I'm just so used to seeing the xenomorphs and then the hybrids or whatever the hell. Again, I think the only 2 good movies they gave us of aliens was 1 and 2. All the others, to me, honestly, they were okay, but they were nowhere near as good as the first 2. Again, unsure how this is going to go, but as of right now, it does have a slow pace. Then it picks up, then it's more slow pace, but it is a very slow pace show. It's very slow pace. It's very confusing if you haven't seen the alien movies in a while. Again, most of the alien movies I've seen, I've not liked. The last 2 to 3 alien movies that came out, I hated. It was complete utter garbage in my opinion. They need to really think about what they need to do for this franchise, because if they don't, the franchise is going to be more in the hole than what it already is. Again, Predator really rose from the ashes. Aliens, they need to do the same thing. I love the Alien franchise, don't get me wrong. It's a love-hate relationship what I have with the Alien franchise, but they need to do better. The story needs to become better, the characters need to become better, and they need to treat these xenomorphs like an actual threat, not to normalize them. These things are a freaking threat to human lives. And until they figure that out, they're already done. So the only ones I'm really hoping for, honestly, in this series as of right now, is Timothy Olyphant's character, Wendy and her brother. Those are the only three characters that I can actually see caring about. The other characters I really could give a crap less about. But again, that's my opinion, guys. What do you think about this? Do you agree with my statement? Even if you don't, that's fine too. What do you think about this series? Is it good? Is it bad? My first thoughts of this is kind of It's just there. To me, unless you're a very big Alien fan, then definitely check it out immediately. Or I would just wait till all the episodes are released and just binge watch, and then have a full opinion later on. So that's just my full opinion. Once more comes out or the season's over with, I'll go over more unless I stop watching. Which either way, I'll let you guys know. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you as always on the next one.